In life, it's not whether you win or lose. It's whether you go for greatness now. Hey everyone, Christina Angel here with Go for Greatness Now. I'm on day 10 of my 30-day challenge. Build your confidence to build your success. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notification. So the Christina-ism today is develop a chip on the shoulder mentality. I also call this prove them wrong mentality. And let me tell you, this resonates big time with me. I played Division I soccer, and there were so many times in my career that people didn't believe in me. So in life, whatever you're trying to do, there are going to be times that people make negative comments, they aren't supportive, or even do negative things. So the chip on the shoulder mentality is basically you take the negatives, maybe that negative comment, or that person that doesn't believe in you. You take the negative and you want to motivate yourself, fuel yourself into a positive result. And let me tell you, in life, I've done this so many times, not only in soccer, because I played Division I soccer, but I also did this when I was starting businesses. So I have 3 tips today, but really hold through this video because the third one is definitely something that you can do today. So tip number 1, you want to be your own motivator. That's right, you want to self-motivate using the mirror of motivation. That's right. So I have a little story. I've used the mirror of motivation and self-motivating techniques since I was little. I played Division I soccer, but before I played Division I soccer in college, I played soccer when I was little, and I had to face some adversity. So when I was a freshman in high school, I was trying out for the varsity soccer team. And when I was 14, let me tell you, I was a late bloomer. I was 4'9", 80 pounds, very small. Everybody always said, Christina, you're so small. Maybe she'll get hurt. She's so small. It was always, everybody would say this. So I was trying out for varsity, and pretty much I was feeling pretty good. I said, you know what? I should make varsity. I should make the team, and I should start. So it was the day before the last day of tryouts. I was walking off the field feeling really confident. I'm like, I got this. I'm making varsity as a freshman. And one of the coaches came over and said, can I talk to you? Wasn't the head coach, just another coach. So he pulled me aside and said, listen, Christina, coach loves your skill set. He loves it. He thinks you're killing it during the tryout. You're really impressing him. However, he thinks you're a little small. Yeah, he thinks you're a little small and you could use a year on JV. So just to let you know, you're not going to make varsity, you're going to make JV. So I was stunned. I'm like, there was no words I could say. I just walked off the field. I didn't even respond. So when I got home, I went straight to my bedroom, and let me tell you, I cried. I cried hard. I was like, I can't believe this. You know, this darn small, I'm always too small. But then after I cried, I said, wait a minute. Come on, Christina. This is not you. Their words don't define you. You still have another day of tryouts, and you're going to show them that they're making a big mistake of not taking you. Your size doesn't matter. You're skilled. You have great energy, or you're a smart player. So this is where the mirror motivation got in. So I went to the mirror in my bedroom. I stood up, I turned on the tunes, and I started really getting motivated, listening to that sound. Christina, you're too small. That's right. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So I was in the mirror and I said, you got this, Christina. You got this. You're skilled. You're a good player. You're going to make varsity. And I motivated myself until I really believed it. And now let me tell you, I got into that tryout and I was on fire. No one could get the ball away from me. I really, really did an awesome job. So good that at the end of the tryouts, the head coach said, now this, Christina, this is how you should try out for a sport. And I was exhausted, but I was relieved because I put it all on the field. I put it all. I said, see what a small person can do? No, I'm not small. I'm great. So the next day I went in, they posted the who made JV and who made varsity. And I'm looking at the JV list. My name's not on it. That's right. Then my friend called out. He said, Christina, you made varsity.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. But I was excited because really the self-motivation and the mirror of motivation really helped. And I didn't stop there. I said, okay, well, I made varsity now. Well, I'm not stopping here. I want to start. That's right. I want to start. So every day I motivate myself in that mirror. And you know what? I did start. As a freshman in high school, I started varsity soccer. From there, I went on to play Division I soccer in college. And let me tell you, that was a turning point. It was a turning point. I used self-motivation, mirror motivation, to accomplish my dreams. So let me tell you, say that you're out and you're saying to yourself, you know what? I want to start my own business. Or maybe you want to go to college. There's going to be times that people are going to say that you can't do it. You're not smart enough. You don't have the skills. And let me tell you, this is the time when someone has said that, when you go home, get in that mirror. Get in that mirror and motivate yourself. Fuel. Use their words to self-motivate yourself to a positive state. To a positive state and a positive result. So definitely use the mirror motivation. If you're out, someone makes a negative comment, when you get home, go in that mirror. Now, tip number 2, I want you to use what is called a positive outcome sheet coupled with visualization. This is something I created when I started my first business. Let me tell you a little story about this. So I was working corporate America when I was in my 20s. I was making 6 figures and climbing that corporate ladder. Everything was going so well. But you know what? I wasn't happy. What I really wanted to do is start my own business. I wanted to be my own boss. 2 months before I quit my corporate job, I thought, you know what? I'm now going to tell my friends and family. They're going to be so excited. I'm starting a new business. This is so awesome. And so I started telling some people, and I remember the first couple of my friends, they started laughing. They said, are you kidding me? They're like, you have a great corporate job. You're making 6 figures. What are you doing? You don't know how to run a business. You know, most businesses fail. They were really not supportive. So I created what is called a positive outcome sheet. With this exercise, I want you to either put it on the computer, your cell phone, ideally put it in a notebook. And I want you to make 2 columns. Your left column, this is, I'm going to call it the negatives. And your right column, this is going to be your positive outcome. So let's use my situation as an example. I wanted to start a successful business. But as you heard, there were a lot of negative comments. So on the negative side, I'm going to put down the action and the comments that occurred. Number 1 comment, I had people laughing at me. That's right. Wasn't very supportive. So I wrote down, people laughed at me. They said I was ridiculous. Another comment I put down, someone said that I didn't have the skills to run a business. Another comment was that they said that most businesses fail. So I wrote these down. I had about a half a dozen comments and things that I wrote down. So your next column, I call it your positive outcome column. So this is what you're going to write down, is what you actually want to achieve. And you want to write it down as if it happened. So for me, I wanted to start a successful business. So I wrote down, I have started a successful business. And when you write it down, I want you to write it down 10 times. That's right, your brain, it likes repetition, and we're trying to put in positive repetition. The key here is that your positive list has to be longer than your negative list. So once you've put these down, first, I want you to look at the negatives. Look at these negatives. These people were laughing at me. They said I didn't have the skill to start a business. Look at these words. These people don't define me. They don't determine my destiny. I define my destiny. That's right. And I want you to repeat this until you believe it. I define my destiny. I define my destiny. Next, I want you to look at your positive outcomes. So mine was, I have created a successful business. Now you want to bring visualization into this process. You want to look at this thing here. I have created a successful business. Close your eyes and visualize as if it has occurred. So I close my eyes and I visualize me running a successful business. I visualize me going to my office. I visualize myself taking the phone calls of clients. I visualize myself closing deals. You want to visualize until you feel that it's actually happening. So this is something that should take you about 5 to 15 minutes. I highly suggest that you do this daily. So my final tip number 3, is that I want you to use other people's success stories, other chip on the shoulder success stories of business people, athletes, people where critics didn't believe in them and they got motivated to a positive result. And let me tell you, I play Division I soccer, so going to the athletes always resonates with me. I have a couple that really help me to get motivated when I'm feeling down, when people don't believe in me. I look at their story and I say, if they can do it, I can do it. So my first one is great GOAT of basketball, Michael Jordan. In high school, he got cut from his varsity team. And they said that he went home, he went to his room and he cried. He was so upset. He was so embarrassed because his friends had made it, but he hadn't made it. And so this motivated him to be the great Michael Jordan of all time, 6 championships. He is the GOAT of basketball, but he, even in his Hall of Fame speech, went back to talk about the coach that didn't take him. That's right. He was so motivated. He took a negative. They didn't take him. They cut him. And he said, listen, you made a big mistake. I'm going to be the greatest basketball player of all time. And he certainly proved that coach wrong. My second athlete is Tom Brady. Oh, I love Tom Brady. He is so awesome. But before he started his NFL football career, he was supposed to be drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round. Well, let me tell you, he sat there and waited as teams just went to another player, and he got drafted in the 7th round. He was the 199th pick. And let me tell you, this really motivated him. He told this story many times, that this motivated to prove all these teams that didn't pick him that they made a mistake. Meanwhile, he ended up 7 Super Bowl championships. That's right. He also got motivated later in his career. He had 5 Super Bowl championships. You would think he had proven himself. Well, the critics said at that point he was washed up. He needed to retire. He couldn't do anything greater. His arm was dead. You know what? He took those negative critics, and he took that to motivate him to positive result. And you know what? He won 2 more Super Bowls. That's right. That's right. So these are 2 examples that I use, but use any example. It could be a business guy. I know with Elon Musk, when he started SpaceX and his rockets, he was trying to launch them and they blew up. His own friends sent him emails of rockets blowing up. They told him to give up, but he didn't. You know why? Because he took these negatives to motivate him to a positive result. So definitely try these out. I want you to self-motivate yourself to positive results. There's great things you can achieve, but you gotta motivate yourself. So these are my 3 tips. And as I always say, things are better when we do them together. So subscribe to my channel, like my videos, hit that bell for notification, and put some comments in the comment section. I want to hear from you. So this is Christina Angel here. Thanks for listening.